Today we are going to go through several updates. We've got information on what Princess, how they're handling refunds and onboard credit that I think you will find very valuable. We've got hurricanes coming. We're going to talk about what cruise lines do when hurricanes are coming. Is your cruise going to be canceled? As well as lots more. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Monday. It is September 11th of 2023, and I can never let September 11th go by without just remembering September 11th, 2021, and all of the good people who lost their lives. And I think the whole world shifted that day. It was probably shifting before then, but we realized the shift on that day, at least it did in my world. And so I just want to let you all know that I haven't forgotten, and I hope you haven't forgotten either, because a lot of good people are no longer with us because of what happened on September 11th of 2021. And ever since then, people have been engaged in the cause to try to keep us safe. And I really appreciate that. It's kind of hard to talk about lighthearted things after that, but here we go. I would like to start off, first of all, by inviting you to join us this evening at our live. We're going to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we would love to have you join us. We've got a lot to catch up on together. We've had a lot going on in Gordon and I's lives that we've missed you for a few weeks, and we're really excited to see you again. So bring your questions. Come ready for a fun time to talk about cruising and travel that goes with it. We'll look for you then. Also, would you please subscribe to our channel? You just hit that subscribe button, and if you hit the little bell next to it, you will get a notification every time we go live, which will be really often on our cruise this next week to New England, as well as whenever we put up a video, so that you don't miss out on anything. So thank you. And if you appreciate these updates, please give this video a thumbs up, because that really helps us as well, and I sure appreciate your support. Let's start at the top. We've got hurricanes brewing. We've got Hurricane Lee, that is a hurricane, and then we've got the tropical storm Margot, which when I watched the weather reports just not too long ago, they are expecting that tropical storm Margot will become a hurricane later today, and if not by today, by Tuesday. So we've got lots of weather going on there in the Caribbean and the Atlantic through that whole region. Now, as many of you maybe know, and I know lots of you out there, we all plan cruises and are excited to go, never knowing what's going to happen with the weather, and sometimes the weather is a really big deal. This Saturday, September 16th, I am due to sail out of the cruise terminal there in Brooklyn, New York. I am so excited to go on a New England cruise. So I've been watching the weather progression, like the weather, what do they call it, where they guess where it's going. I've lost that word. But, they try to project where the storms are going to go. It looks right now, if everything follows the projections that I've been seeing, like that storm is due to hit Canada and the Maritimes maybe by Sunday. So if it happens that way, then hopefully it will be through before our cruise sets sail. But I do not know if it will impact the ship's ability to get back into New York. So the weather on Saturday in New York City right now is projected to be a high of 74 degrees with only a 2% chance of rain. So maybe the storm will already be through there by the time Saturday comes. But you know what? I am going to really keep a close eye, and I'll keep you all up to date. I know that we've got other Let's Go family members who will be on that cruise. So I've been following along. We're going to go to Newport on Sunday. So there's a it'll be 77 degrees for the high, a 31% chance of rain there. Boston is supposed to be 77 on Monday with only a 4% chance of rain. Bar Harbor is supposed to be 68 on Tuesday with a 36% chance of rain. By Wednesday, St. John there in Canada is supposed to be 62 with a 24% chance of rain. And then Thursday in Halifax is supposed to be a high of 70 with a 52% chance of rain. And I've been watching, and it doesn't talk about high winds during that time, so I will keep you all up to date though on how the weather goes, and plan to join me on our live sailways. Our ship is due to leave New York around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. I've never sailed out of New York before. I've looked at the map though, and I'm going to go up on the top deck so that I can show you all everything around. Hopefully we'll be able to catch a glimpse of the Statue of Liberty. And just the whole area. We get to go on underneath the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. So excited about that. So come with me, okay? Now, the next thing that I think is really important that you all know about, and you know what, and we will keep an eye on Hurricane Margot, alrighty? We have a Let's Go family member who posted over on our Facebook, and he has been on 225 cruises. And so he just barely boarded the Celebrity Equinox. So he gave us an update. But here's one thing that occurred to me when I was reading his post, and he said that he has been on 225 cruises. It made me think of all of you and who we have here. So here in our Let's Go family, we have people clear from people who have never been on a cruise and are dreaming of going on a cruise, clear to people who have cruised 225 times and maybe more. And it covers everything in between. And I just want you to know how special I think that makes this group, because we are all here, I believe, to associate with nice people, to talk about things we enjoy talking about. And whether or not you have ever been on a cruise is really rather a moot point. I think this is a nice place for us to have something to talk about that takes our minds off things that are maybe hard or sad, or just gives us something light to think about. I know that all of us come from different times, from different places, from different backgrounds, and I love that we can all come together and be respectful here and treat each other with kindness and love and encouragement. So just wanted to put that out there and let you know. So on the Celebrity Equinox, he said that the embarkation was super smooth. The cabin was, when he got on the ship early, it was already prepared for occupancy, very well appointed. He was just waiting for his luggage to come. They already had in the room the Captain's Club invite for the toast tomorrow, because being one of the top cruisers there on this ship. And then he was going to let us know how lunch goes. So I love receiving your reviews. Thank you very much. I haven't gotten as many lately. So if you're on a cruise ship, would you please let me know how everything is going? I think it is valuable not only so that we know what's going on, but we had good friends that just went on Norwegian, and it was in the Mediterranean. They came home and said, never again. The food was terrible. We lost weight. We have a Let's Go family member that was just on Norwegian, and he enjoyed it more than I believe he expected. And he has encouraged, no, not him personally, but because of his review, I am encouraged to go on Norwegian another time. So I think a lot of times we can go on a cruise and things don't go quite as you expect, and I'm included in this. Sometimes I'll think, oh, I don't want to do that again, when really I shouldn't be so close-minded, because you can go again and things will be better, things will be different. But either way, you're on a cruise ship, and there are so many things to enjoy. And I firmly believe that every cruise line has something special to offer that the others don't. That's why we have all these cruise lines and why we need to give them a try. So that's just the update on that. Alrighty, here's our discussion for today, and then we're going to have some more updates. I'm going to talk to you about a good way to get a wheelchair if you need one sent to the port. I'm also going to talk to you about some fun, entertaining theme cruises that Princess is going to do. So first of all, when you go to book an excursion on any cruise line, generally, if you have onboard credit, you can apply the onboard credit that you have towards the excursions. And it's a good way to use onboard credit, especially if you have a lot of onboard credit. Then when you cancel the excursion, the way that it is supposed to work is that the onboard credit that you use to book it goes back to your onboard credit account. And if you paid for any of it with your credit card, that is supposed to come back to you on your credit card. Here's the change that Princess has made. And I know this because I talked to them about it today. So what they are doing now is, if you book an excursion and then you decide you're going to cancel it, they will give back whatever money you used as onboard credit back as onboard credit. But if you had even more onboard credit and you perhaps spent it on another excursion that you didn't cancel, they are going to, instead of refunding you back to your credit card, they are going to refund you back to the onboard credit to make your onboard credit balance what it was supposed to be for the cruise. Say you have $300 of onboard credit on your cruise, okay? And you use like $200 of it to book some excursions, and then you use the last $100 of it to book another excursion. Well, you decide that you want to cancel the excursions that use the $200 of onboard credit. So that $200 of onboard credit will go back to your onboard credit. But the amount that you paid with your credit card to go towards that excursion is not going to all come back to you. They are going to keep $100 of it and put that back in your onboard credit so that you're back at having $300 of onboard credit on your account, even though you've used $100 of onboard credit to book another excursion that you've still got booked. Does that make sense? The reason I'm telling you this is because I have been through an awful lot trying to get people's money back, and I finally got an amazing Princess rep that was willing to look at the whole thing and see what was wrong, where the money had gone, how they were managing it, and she said, yep, that's how they're doing it now. But no one that I spoke to until that point could tell me that. So if you book an excursion with Princess and you use your onboard credit app, and then you book another excursion and you use more onboard credit, and then the one you booked first, you want to cancel that one, be aware that you're not going to get all of that money back on your credit card like you would have. Does that make sense for everyone? It doesn't mean that I don't think you should book excursions. It just means heads up that that's how they're working it. And then make sure that when you get on the ship, your money in your onboard credit account is actually there. Alrighty. I don't know a way to see, unless you call and have somebody at Princess that's good at it, to look and see how much onboard credit you've got sitting there. It pretty much takes a supervisor to be able to do that. I can see how much onboard credit you're supposed to have, but I can't see the actual amount that has been used and has not been used. So thought I would bring you up to date on that. Yeah, do I think it's cool? No, you can't. You shouldn't be refunding people's money that they paid with a credit card as onboard credit. That's not cool. I think they're just finding another way to get money and try to encourage people to spend more money, because when you're on the ship and you see that you've got X number of dollars in your onboard credit account, then you just think, well, I'll spend that. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that. And that money should be refundable onboard credit. Do I know for sure if it gets refunded? I don't know. That money should be refundable onboard credit that gets refunded from your credit card. So if you want it to be refunded to you, keep an eye on it, okay? Really quickly then, we've got people that ask a lot about scooters and wheelchairs, things like that. When you go on a cruise, they don't rent those to you. The cruise line doesn't. You have to find an independent place that does it. And so I love that one of you posted that Princess works with Special Needs at Sea and Scootaround. The Scootaround company, I did see people when we were on our cruise on Holland America to Alaska that had that stamped on the back of their scooter that clearly was rented, so you can rent it and then they'll deliver it to the ship for you. I'll pay attention when I'm in New York this next weekend and see if I can notice what company anyone is renting their scooters from there, but that's a good place for you to start. Go to those websites and see what you can do to rent a scooter or a wheelchair for anyone that you need. Another big thing that Princess is doing, and I think that it is truly to encourage people to get on the cruises, is they are running more themed cruises, and some of them looked kind of fun, so I thought I would tell you about them. So first of all, October 1st, and I know these are coming up short notice, which says to me that they still haven't sold these cruises out. So they've got a 6-day departing on October 1st, a 6-day Pacific Wine Country cruise that's on the Discovery Princess from Vancouver, and on that one you're going to have the Wagner family of wine. You're going to have some people that work with them on board the ship. You're going to have winemaker dinners, expert wine guided tastings. You're going to have food and wine pairings, and you can also reserve some extra events on board that will probably cost extra. But if you particularly enjoy wine, or if you follow that particular Wagner family of wine, that would be a cruise that you might want to think about. And then on October 8th, on the Sapphire Princess from Vancouver, they are going to have Explore Pacific Wine Country with Jackson Family Wines, which is the same thing. They'll have representatives from that company on the ship. And then this is kind of maybe the funnest one, I think, at least for me. October 3rd on the Majestic Princess from Vancouver. It's just a 3-day coastal. These are all repositioning cruises, by the way. They are going to have some of the cast members from the TV show Dallas. Remember that? forever ago. Linda Gray, so she was Sue Ellen, she was married to JR. They're going to have Charlene Tilton, which was Lucy Ewing on board and on the TV show. Sherry Ewing, which was April Stevens Ewing. I didn't know her as well. I saw that show more at the beginning of it than at the very end. And then also Christopher Atkins, who is Peter Richards on Ewing. So on Dallas. So if you would really enjoy hearing from those people, seeing those people, thinking about Dallas again, that's going to be a fun cruise. It's super short, and these are actually very affordable cruises. I looked at it before I was going to tell you about it, and they're not expensive for what you're getting. Finally, October 16th, this is going to be kind of fun too. They're going to have a 3-day coastal from Seattle on the Crown Princess, and they are going to have these, like, they're basically makeup artists. Well, not basically, they are makeup artists. There's going to be Michael Westmore, Johnny Spence, and Tim Bucharam. I hope I said his name right. They are some of the behind the scenes people for special effects with a lot of TV shows, movies, things like that, so that you can see how that works. And then on October 21st, they've got a classic California round trip from LA on the Discovery Princess, and that one is going to have different singers and songwriters on board. So they're going to have Alan Dennis Rich, Frida Payne, Kimberly Locke. They're going to have Leo Rossi. He was in Fleetwood Mac, if you can remember that, which he was their tour director and road crew member. Also for Led Zeppelin. And then Al Jardin, who was one of the original co-founders of the Beach Boys. So I think there's going to be a lot of good music there. I've already talked to you about the Mythbusters cruise that's going to sail November 25th of 2023, 4-day West Coast cruise for that. And then finally, that wedding one that they're doing with Randy Finoli, who is the new wedding ambassador for Princess. That one is going to sail December 3rd for a 7-day Western Caribbean on the Regal Princess. And you're going to be able to consult with Randy Finoli about your wedding dress. Lots of meet and greet events, a whole bunch of things to do with planning your wedding. So if you think you want help with that, that might be a good cruise to go on. So I hope this helps you have an idea of what's going on a little bit. Don't forget to come to our live tonight. Thanks for being here with me. It is such a pleasure to see you all again, and I look forward to seeing you every day again from here on out. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.